Business improvement districts have been a feature of the way in which towns and cities are managed across the UK since 2004. With more than 125 business improvement districts now in place, there's a significant body of evidence, experience and best practice which indicates how cities and business communities have adopted this approach and how indeed many of them are looking to the future by renewing the business improvement district status in their area. Canterbury is not a failing city. We have not experienced some of the worst challenges of the recession, but we can't be complacent. With the fall in government funding at both national and local level, the rise of the internet, and the ferocious competition from other centres, both out of town and other visitor destinations, we have to make sure that we have the very best future for our city.
We've got all sorts of funding problems these days, and we estimate we're going to lose about 45% of our funding over a 7-year period between 2010 and 2017. I think the opportunity that the bid brings is ownership of what goes on from the businesses that are contributing to the bid, and I think that's really important. It will be their own organisation doing things on their own behalf. And it does mean that lots of extra things which currently we can't afford and we won't be able to afford in the future can still be done. In fact, lots of additional things which we've not been used to before. Although we collect the business rates, and I know that businesses pay a great deal of money to us as the business rate collector, the vast majority of it goes straight off to government, and we get back as a council no more than about 10% of the sum that we collect. Much of the rest of it goes to the police and the county council, but a great deal of it goes to other councils because it's distributed across the country to make sure that councils that don't have the assets that Canterbury does don't suffer. The council itself will be paying into the bid organisation, because as property owners in the city centre, and we own a great deal of property in the city centre, we have a responsibility to pay business rates as well as everybody else. For example, the Marlow Theatre, the Beanie Museum, all those sorts of buildings we own and we pay business rates on. And even though we'll be paying, we'll be backing the bid, and I hope everybody else does.
As a response to these challenges, Canterbury City Partnership is consulting across the city about whether a bid is the right way for the business community to take charge of our own destiny, raising money locally to be managed and invested locally. What would you want to see your money spent on if we developed a business improvement district in Canterbury city centre? And how do you want us to measure whether your money is being spent wisely?
We obviously think Canterbury is a great place, and that's not just because of the beautiful building that's behind us. The businesses here within the city walls are also a reason why people come to visit Canterbury. And having seen previous business improvement districts and looked at examples of projects that have happened, I think it's a fantastic initiative, and I think it should be brought here to Canterbury. I think it would give business support, cleaner streets, more attractive streets, better promoted events. That's got to be a good thing for everybody.
As an independent retailer, I support the bid because my business is relying on Canterbury to be an attractive, high-class shopping location. Also in the long term, it's important to maintain the standards we've already achieved and to improve them in this time where the high street is transforming and city centres are transforming. I think it's important that the traders get together to work on those issues that are important to all of us. When it comes to difficult decisions about parking and traffic planning and things that are always controversial, I would like the bid to represent the views of the traders so that a balance can be struck when those decisions are made. The safety in the city is not only important for our customers, it's also important for our staff. We need an attractive city to have high qualified people to want to work for us.
And I'm feeling good.
As an independent retailer on the King's Mile, I support the bid because there needs to be more cohesion between local government and the retailers. There needs to be more partnership and working together, and I think the bid will help all the retailers to work together for a common goal. If the bid was successful, I'd be looking at better security, I'd be looking at cleaner streets and better maintained buildings, I'd be looking at decent Christmas lights, I'd be looking for more promotion to local areas, especially along the King's Mile and along Castle Street, because that's where my businesses are.
Whitefriars was designed and built as an integral part of Canterbury. As a key player within the city, we have always used Canterbury as our unique selling point and promoted the benefits of shopping within a beautiful historic city as opposed to the sterile environment of a shopping mall. We have often talked about the big cake analogy. The bigger collective cake there is on the table, the bigger and better our slice would be, which of course applies to all retailers, however big or small they may be. We believe the bid will be the key to unlock the city's full potential. The bid will help bring more shoppers into the city. It's a great opportunity to be part of the city moving forward.
Well, as Chair of Canterbury for Business, I'm confident in the future of Canterbury, and as a potential bid payer ourselves, I believe it'll help make Canterbury more attractive, and we can build on the strengths that we already have in the service sector, using the support of our universities. A bid will help us build on the work we're already doing to make Canterbury a great place to start a new business. The bid will only help but enhance the future, and I believe it will help us build on the strengths that Canterbury already has to make it the place to visit within the South East.
Winchester has had a business improvement district since 2008, and recently the businesses there voted to continue paying the levy for another 5 years. Chris Turner is the Chief Executive of Winchester Bid.
The renewal vote for the Winchester bid last year was a very important time for us. We'd spent 5 years providing a level of service across the city, and it was an important test for us how businesses received what we'd done and how far they wanted to continue with it. In the end, some 80% of the businesses voted in our favour. There was a real sense that most of the businesses, at times like this when life is quite difficult for most businesses, that we had all worked together to make the city into a vibrant, prosperous and confident place. Everything from the Christmas lights to the hanging baskets, to the clean streets, to the zero graffiti policy. Return on investment for the bid is a very critical issue. We collect around £500,000. Not all of it's from the bid levy. We earn a fair amount ourselves from our own income-generating activities. And we need to be able to show this is worthwhile. We produce quarterly data on business confidence, and that shows a 20% improvement. And this year, at the moment, a 5% improvement in the bottom line for the cross-section of businesses that we survey. The bid provides a clear, focused, single voice. It provides a group of people that are getting things done by way of literally hanging baskets and extra police and footfall cameras. And those things are done fast and uncompromisingly and speedily. And that sense of hassle-free decision-making that businesses expect and generally can't get for lots of understandable reasons from local authorities, they expect to get from us. And they do.
Finally, what happens now? We will assess whether we have sufficient support across the city to take this forward. After all, a bid can only be created if you, the businesses in the city, vote for it, based on a legally binding proposal about how the money would be spent and how the bid would be managed. Please let us know what you think. Thank you.